Hey everyone, I'm Elizabeth White from Liz's Room, and today's guest is extremely close to my heart. She's a retired vet who has served in the United States Air Force for 36 years. In honor of Suicide Prevention Week, which is September 10th through the 16th, she is speaking with me today to tell her story on attempting suicide and how she's still overcoming it. She is a wife, a grandmother, a sister, and my mom. I welcome you all, Shirley White.
Hey, Queen.
So, thank you for speaking with me today on such an important topic. Like I stated, National Suicide Prevention Week is September 10th through the 16th, and the 10th is actually National Suicide Awareness Day. Now, statistics show that 49,449 Americans lost their lives to suicide in 2022, which is up from the 48,183 deaths in 2021 that were reported. And you, Mom, you're here to share your story on when you decided you were going to leave Earth for good. But something, or should I say someone, unexpectedly stopped you. So go ahead and tell your story. The floor is yours.
Okay, so I was in the Air Force back then, and I was going through a lot at my job. There's a lot of unfairness things going around, and I couldn't do anything right. And I was constantly getting picked on about this, that, and the other. And normally stuff like that doesn't bother me, but I had gotten into some serious trouble, as in someone that I said something, and my commander at the time, instead of him doing an investigation, he believed them. But anyway, I had to give account of what I did say, and I had a bunch of witnesses that also, said, hey, she didn't say those things, she didn't do any of those things, blah, blah, blah. But it didn't seem to matter. I still ended up getting written up. And at the time, that was something serious to get written up because no one wants to be written up. I had a supervisor that wasn't the nicest person, and she would constantly pick on not just me, but my coworkers as well. I don't know, it just all got to me. And for some reason that I just kept getting more and more depressed. And this went on for like 6 months. And it got to the point, I had a good friend and I would talk to him sometimes, and he tried to help me as much as he could, but it wasn't too much that he could do except listen to me, and try to, just be there for me as much as he could. I talked to my husband about it and he didn't know what to do.
So I probably don't remember this then.
You don't. But I would come home from work and I would just go straight to my room. I just ignored my kids completely. And I would just constantly cry and just go to bed, and sleep a lot. I couldn't really function. All I could do was get dressed, go to work. The people at work was ignoring me. And the one friend that I could talk to at work, he worked in another building, but I would call him from time to time and he would meet me outside in my car, and he tried to comfort me, and we talked some, but it just kept getting worse and worse. And then I just started feeling like a real heaviness on me. I mean, when people say that they're depressed and they're sad or whatever, you really feel physical pain. I can remember one time I was so miserable. I drove to the picnic grounds and I was in my car by myself and I was looking around and all I kept thinking was, this is where people come at to die. And I was thinking right then and there, if I had a gun, I think I probably would have shot myself. But anyway, it just kept going on and on and on. And then, like I said, this was 6 months into it. I was just so tired of feeling that heaviness, that hurt, that pain, that physical pain, emotional. I just couldn't take it anymore. And I had decided I'm going to end it all. I can't do this anymore. And I had made my mind up one weekend when my girlfriend that lives in Jacksonville, Florida, invited me to come. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going, but I'm never coming back. I was thinking I probably would have just crashed into some trees because that's the only thing that was, crossing my mind how to do it.
You saying that, like what's going through your head? Because you clearly know your kids love you. You know your husband loves you. You know you have family that love you. So what's going through your head when you made that decision?
I knew they loved me, but it didn't matter anymore. I wasn't thinking about how they would feel, wasn't thinking about any. I was just thinking about, I can't do this anymore. This pain. I can't live with this pain anymore.
So you were in the car.
Yeah, so I was in a car. My South Carolina mother, and her name's Sonia Brewer, decided out of clear blue sky she was gonna come with me. And I was like, what? I was like, why? I was like, you always say that, but you never come. She said, oh no, I'm coming with you this time. And all I could think of was, oh my goodness, if she really does come, I can't do this because I don't want to hurt her. I just want to hurt me. So come Friday, she just, after I got off from work, she was like, I'm ready, come and get me. So I went and picked her up. And I was driving really, really careful because it was almost like my mind was taking over, like, you should still do this. And I'm like, nope, I love this woman. I'm not going to let anything bad happen to her. I'm going to be the best careful driver that I can be. I'm just going to have to do this another time. So we get to Jacksonville and we stayed at my friend's house. And we were there from Friday to Sunday, but we didn't leave right away on Sunday because my friend asked us to come to church with her. And so I went to church and I wasn't really paying attention until I heard the minister say, "You forgot who you are in Christ." And I looked up and he was looking right at me. And then he said it again, "You forgot who you are in Christ." And I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, he's talking to me. And I was like, okay, okay. So then after that, I listened to his sermon. And then when it was over with, I walked up to him and I said, "You were talking to me. You looked right at me when you said it." But the look he gave me was like, oh, okay. Like he wasn't aware that he actually was looking at me. So I know that was God. Like, hey, you're still my child. I'm still here. You just got to let me help you. I can get you through this. And so coming back, I didn't have that heavy, heavy feeling. I mean, it was still there, but it wasn't unbearable.
So you mentioned Sonia Brewer, who was there for you, your South Carolina mother, who's also my godmother. She actually sent a special message for you. So I'm going to play it for you.
Hi, Shirley. This is Mama Brewer. I love you, and I am so glad and thank God that you're still here with us. All right? Love you. This is the Mother Brewer, your other mother. Love you. Bye bye.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And you know what? Had I gone to her when I first started feeling like that, she would have helped me. She would have got me through my bad times. And I should mention also, I had lost a lot of weight because I had stopped eating as well. I had lost like, I think I got down to like, I went from like 170 to 135, and people could tell. Yeah, people could tell because they were like, oh my goodness, what's wrong with you? You sick or something? Why are you losing all this weight? I would just laugh it off, just play it off or whatever. And I think about it now to this day, I'm like, oh my goodness, I would have missed out on so many wonderful things. I would have missed out on my retirement. I would have missed out on my children's graduation. I would have missed out on my grandson. I would have missed out on all the wonderful children that the Lord has given me, because not just my two blood daughters, He's given me other children. He's given me so many other kids that, that I feel like are my real children. That movie, It's a Wonderful Life, is so true. It really is. I know it sounds cliche, but it really is. But now that I'm so much more aware of this, I mean, because like I said, this is back in the early 2000s, and I've had so many friends that have died from suicide. In fact, I just had a good friend that passed away from it back in December. And here's the clincher: the week before he did it, it popped up in my head to call him. And I meant to call him, but it just slipped my mind. And by the time I was going to get ready to do it, that's when I heard he had committed suicide. And he was just the most nicest person, happy go lucky, always trying to help everybody. I didn't even know there was a problem. I really didn't. And I wish that I had shared my story with him, because perhaps that would have helped him.
Just this whole topic, especially in 2023, it's more prevalent and all that because so many people have experienced people they are close to or know that are, that may have committed suicide or attempted it. Even myself, I've known people who committed suicide. I've also have two friends who, wanted to. One of them told me, I want to say maybe it was last year. They were at my house and they told me that they plan on doing it. And like I just broke down crying and I told them that, it not only just affects you, it affects the people around you. You might not think people care, but they do, especially me. Like I don't know what I would do without you in my life. It's like a domino effect, there's so many people involved when it happens. And if you were to did it, even though I was young, I'm fortunate that I don't have to experience that, but mental health is real and people need help.
So that's why I want to tell everybody now, and I'm not going to lie, I was thinking last night, like, I don't know if I can do this. I mean, I'm putting myself out there. I've only shared this with a couple people, of course, my kids, but my family, as in my mom, my brothers and sisters, they don't know. Other friends, they don't know. Only a handful of people knew that I was going to do this. And I thought about it, and it had been on my mind for the past 3 months. I felt like God was urging me, you need to tell people so they'll know it's okay. It's not the end of the world. They could go get help. They could go seek help. Even if they don't want to talk and they just want to just sit there and just cry, and somebody sit there and hold them, because that does help. Even when my father died, I ain't gonna lie, the devil whispered in my head, how you gonna live without him? What you gonna do now? And I was like, I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna cry it out. I'm gonna do whatever I have to do. I'm gonna talk to whoever I have to talk to, but I'm gonna make it through this. And the Lord sent friends to minister to me, to be there for me. When I lost one of my best friends, I didn't know, what I was gonna do, how I was gonna make it without her laughter. Granted, I didn't get depressed, but I was a little afraid, like, Lord, what if that try to come back on me? Then I gotta fight that off, because that darkness is real. Mental illness, mental anguish, all that stuff is real. And I am begging people, if they feel like they want to themselves, please, please, please don't do it. You just would be so amazed how many people will miss you, how many people love you. You really do have to open your mouth. Don't wait for them to ask you. You just come out and say, look, I need to talk. I just need somebody to listen to me. I just need you to hold me. Just let me cry on your shoulder, whatever it takes, and seek professional help. You gotta reach out to people, because people can't read your mind.
Thank you, Mom, for being with me today. As always, before my guests go, I play a little game with them, so please pick 3 letters.
JKL.
Okay. All right, so using those 3 letters, I need you to find 3 words of encouragement for someone who feels that they are at wit's end, and then say why you picked those words.
Okay, J for joyful. I say joyful, but joyous also, because there's so many things out there. Oh my goodness, somebody that just needs an encouraging word, a stranger. Hey, your hair looks beautiful. I love your shoes. Oh, your nails are gorgeous. I like your sneakers. Just joyful. So pass that joy on to somebody else. K, kindness. Yeah. Remember that old saying? Well, I know people say kill them with kindness. That's for the people that's mean, but no, give your kindness to people in general, whether they're good to you, bad to you, whatever, because it's going to make you feel good. Whether they accept it or not, you can at least know that, hey, I did my part. And then L is for love. Because, I mean, I know people are like, oh, I love so and so, or, you don't want to use it just because you really do feel it, because we are all God's children. No matter who you are, just love them, because God is love.
I just
Yeah.
want to say to everyone out there struggling that your mental health is so important, and it's okay to not be okay. And there are people out there who can help you. Never be ashamed to ask for help. Never be ashamed to talk to anyone. There are hotlines like 988 where you can call or text, and a trained and skilled crisis worker will be connected to you. It's not an overnight fix by any means, but it is a journey. Know that people love you and that your life does matter.
And then, because I've gone through it, you can even call me. You can FaceTime me. You can text me. You can Facebook me. Any of that, because I've gone through it. So I know exactly how you feel, and I'd be more than happy to listen to you. Day or night, doesn't matter.
That's all the time we have for today. I'm Elizabeth White. I love you, and I'll see y'all again in Liz's room.